All right. Okay. We're live. Let me just tell everyone we're live. I'm not sure how long I've got. Just going to do a short video until the wife comes back with her mum. Hope everyone is okay. Defending Elvis Presley fans want the truth. Let me just tell everyone we're live. We're live. The time is 2:32 p.m. UK. I'm in Southwest UK. I thought we had a brilliant live stream this morning, earlier today. Obviously, it was the new book. We were doing our review of it, but the review came in from you guys. So let me just say we're live. We're live. Okay. Let me go to both chats. Don't forget, we've got a chat on defending Elvis Presley fans want the truth. Let me just quickly tell everyone we're live. Okay, right. So, Louis, wait until you read what Priscilla did and told a younger Lisa when she went into Graceland board meeting and found Lisa seated in her chair at the head of the table. It's unbelievable. Well, I've already had that sent in a message. How are you, Rainbow? So, brilliant. Guys, keep giving me snippets of the book. Let me see if I can find the comment that you're talking about, Rainbow. So let's have a look. Right. So if we go on to defending Elvis Presley's 24-hour chat, I'm going to whiz it back a bit. So today, obviously, we've been getting different bits of information regarding the book. Everyone's raving about it. There's definitely things in the book now that are proving that Priscilla made some serious mistakes and didn't just mistreat Elvis, also seriously mistreated Lisa. So, hi, Michelle. So, Michelle, have you read any more of the book? So, I'm more just, I thought I would come back and just quickly go through the 24-hour chat and get a bit of feedback from you guys on since this morning. I haven't had a chance to catch up. What's this? Let me just play this a minute.
This is a bit that really resonated with me. This is quoted from the book. She didn't want to gain pregnancy weight. She thought that wouldn't be a good look for her as Elvis' wife. There were so many women after him, all of them beautiful. She wanted his undivided attention. She was so upset that she was pregnant that initially she'd only eat apples and eggs and never gained much weight. I was a pain in her ass immediately, and I always felt she didn't want me. I believe in energy in utero, so maybe I already felt her vibe of trying to get rid of me. Says it all, doesn't it?
That's crazy, isn't it? I mean, those words. It's only a 40-second voicemail from Michelle. I tell you what, it's unbelievable. It's all starting to come out now that Priscilla really did not want to be a mum. Yeah, and it's almost like that Priscilla's bitterness and anger and spiteful behavior was taken out on Lisa. And Lisa was fully aware of it, fully didn't feel wanted, didn't feel loved. Hi, Pat. I just wanted to thank Linda. Linda has sent me loads of excellent pictures. She's probably not on yet. Linda, in case you watch this later, I've got your pictures. They're amazing pictures. She has also sent me a write-up listing what all the pictures are. So I was going to go through them in a minute. She's also sent me this book, little thing called Life. So I wonder, let me just see if I can get, I'll go onto Amazon and I'll just see what the write-up is. Has any of you heard of that book? Little thing called Life. Let's have a look. Let me see if it gives a little review. So this book here from Linda. Linda sent me this all the way from America. She also sent me, let's just have a look. Linda, thank you so much. Anyone that wants to send me a book, I'll love to go through it. Now, Linda, thank you. She may join us soon. She sent me a sticker from Sun Studios. I thought I could put that on my camper. Linda, am I allowed to put that on my camper? Sun Studios, Memphis, Tennessee, the legendary Sun Studios. Can I put that on my camper? My 1967 camper. And she sent me 2 platrums, guitar platrums, which I'm guessing came from the shop. Taking care of business. I was thinking I could stick them to my camper. Linda, can I stick them to my camper? Thank you so much, Linda. Let's have a look. So now I've been going through, let's just show you the book again. It came from FedEx this morning. Now I've been going through Linda's notes. Now Linda's notes are very, very detailed. Yeah. Now you guys know I'm not a good reader. These notes are picking out all the parts of this book that Linda feels that Linda Thompson has been quite unfair, quite cruel about Elvis and said some pretty nasty, derogatory things about Elvis. Now, I'll be honest with you, this is a lot to go through. This isn't like a quick read on a live stream. This is a lot of work to go through. Now, I think, is Linda on yet? I was hoping to speak to her while she's on. I did email her. Have you got a cup of tea, guys? Now, she's basically saying, I think what Linda is trying to say. Now, I'm going to be careful here because I'm not going to spend the next half an hour slagging off Linda Thompson. I just don't want to. I completely understand that she definitely, in this book, has said many, many, many things that she should not have said. I've already worked that out quite quickly. Now, it does concern me, though. It does worry me that, how can I say it? I'm trying to say this in a way to not upset the Linda Thompson fans. I don't have anything against Linda. The thing I'm learning, have any of you, just can I ask, have any of you read this book? Yeah, this book, A Little Thing Called Life. The thing that worries me is this. This is why we are defending Elvis Presley, guys. And that is, I just don't understand how Elvis was so kind and lovely, and generous and charming and good-hearted, and did everything for everyone, you know, especially his girlfriends. So generous, more than generous. He literally, even after breaking up from girlfriends, he was still there for them. Do you agree with that, guys? I just don't understand why then sort of they split up. And obviously I've seen many of Linda Thompson's interviews with talking about Elvis, generally in a fond way, but obviously she will bring up the drugs and the binge eating, and she'll bring up I think at one point she says he was like a little boy, and you know, they say the negative stuff. Yeah. Now, what worries me is that Elvis isn't here to defend himself. So what worries me is this. This is the same scenario. Let me get the other book. Now, this is the pattern I'm starting to learn about any ex-girlfriend that is writing a book about Elvis that has negative parts in it. And that is, Elvis literally cannot defend himself. So you're getting books, obviously we've spoken about this book 1,000 times, full of negative stuff about Elvis. Yeah? So then Priscilla is obviously very unpopular with Elvis fans because they know that a lot of this is hogwash. Yeah? But then you've got, I'm going to try and say it carefully. Then you've got this book. Now, Linda has pointed out, she's put a lot of work into this. She's color coded. You've got blue, purple, yellow, red. She's color coded all these pages. Yeah. I'll give you an example. So she knows I'm not a good reader. I don't read much. Yeah. So let's have a look. Michelle says the only ex that I listen to is Minda Miller. She's so respectful and hasn't written a book. The rest don't interest me at all. And I understand that, Michelle. But the thing I've learned is this. We have to read the negative stuff to defend Elvis. Because what are we generally trying to do? We're trying to go, look, all the things that have been spoon-fed to us since Elvis died have been cruel, unfair. Sometimes the people writing the books are bitter, angry, resentful. Now, the truth is, Linda Thompson, I know that they had the first year together. I think they were together most of the year. But then Elvis, Elvis, let's face it, guys, his interest would move. He would lose interest. He would like someone else. Maybe he just didn't feel comfortable in the relationship he was in. Who knows the reasons? But Elvis, when things didn't feel right, in my opinion, would start to look elsewhere. I do think Elvis was always trying to look for the one. He always was looking for the one. And if you listen to that very old interview, I think in the early 60s, the reporter asks him, do you want to get married? And then in a very long-winded way, Elvis says, yes, but I'm not going to rush into it because I want to make sure that the person who likes me for the right reasons. I think we've all watched that, haven't we? Yeah? I wonder if I just type in Elvis. I'll go onto TikTok. Do you want a girlfriend? Let's have a look. Let's just type it in, see if it comes up. That old interview where he basically says, I'm not ready until I find the right one. Elvis, do you have a girlfriend? Let's see if it comes up. It's an old black and white interview, isn't it? Let's have a look. We've got the old argument that he had with Linda, which is funny. Let's have a look. I still want to... Let's see if it comes up.
Do you know how many girlfriends Elvis...
Oh, Elvis had too many girlfriends. Right, let's have a look. Let's play this for a bit of fun. Let's have a look.
2. June Wanico. Do you know how many girlfriends Elvis Presley admitted to dating? These are Elvis Presley's beautiful girlfriends. 1. Dixie Locke, Elvis's first high school girlfriend. They dated from 1952 to 1955. 2. June Wanico. Elvis dated this beauty queen from Beloushistan, Mississippi between 1955
She's
and 1956. 3.
Favorites.
Anita Wood.
We love
Elvis
Anita
was
Wood.
with this actress and singer from 1957 to 1959, and they often appeared in public at the beginning of his career. 4. Priscilla Beaulieu Matten. In 1959, Priscilla began dating Elvis, who was only 14 years old at the time. They dated for many years and finally married in 1967. The two had one child, Lisa Marie Presley. In 1973, they divorced. 5. Linda Thompson. The former beauty queen dated Elvis from 1972 to 1976 and was by his side during his return to Las Vegas. 6. Ginger Alden. Elvis's fiancée at the time of his death. She was an actress and model. Their relationship lasted until Elvis's death in 1977. Ginger was the last girlfriend to witness his death on the toilet. Do you know how many girlfriends Elvis Presley admitted to dating?
Right.
These are Elvis Presley's beautiful girlfriends. Dixie Love.
And obviously, it's coming out now from the book. If any of you guys have any snippets of the book, let me know on here now. But it's, you know, they have to end it with the toilet thing, don't they? It just annoys me. But my point, like, look, it's now coming out with the book, the new book, yeah, that things weren't right between Elvis and Ginger Alden. Lisa is talking in detail about Ginger Alden. And I think it's going to upset a lot of the people that think Ginger Alden was this perfect romance and they were destined to get married and have a family and that Elvis was in love with her. You're going to be very disappointed, guys, what you read in the book. I think this book is going to make Ginger Alden quite unpopular. And I'm not hating on Ginger Alden. I'm just saying things are coming out about Ginger now that is upsetting you guys. Anyway, I just want to carry on talking about this book. Yeah. So we're talking about Linda. We've done the, live streams on Linda before. Now, she gives some very sweet interviews. Yeah. So I'll just show you a little clip of one.
Elvis's.
Let's just have a look. I mean, she was beautiful. She's still making a living off Elvis. I know that she's a talented woman. She's a songwriter. Let's just see if an interview comes up.
What do you think of the new? Some difficulty in dating Elvis.
I guess. And then he died 8 months later, and I didn't see him for those 8 months. We spoke. Didn't see Elvis for several months before he passed away, but when I left him, he looked fine. I left him in the beginning of December of 70, I guess. And then he died 8 months later, and I didn't see him for those 8 months. We spoke on the phone, but I didn't see him. And he really had deteriorated a lot. Here's a man who has everything in the world going for him. You know, he was the most gorgeous man, I think, physically, who ever lived. Spiritually, he was sound, he was good, he was solid. Emotionally, he had a few problems. You know, he was still a little boy, never had an opportunity to fully grow up. He had people doing things for him so much. But he let himself go a lot. It was tragic. When you live with someone as closely as we live together, for as long as we live together, you view them as a human entity. You have to live with the vulnerability, the human fallibility daily. And we were together so much because his work was perhaps an hour on stage and a few rehearsals. And the rest of the time we were together. And even, you know, of course, during his shows, I was there. So you have to view the person that you're living with as a human soul, not as Elvis Presley on the marquee. You know, so it's a little disturbing to see him viewed just totally as a commodity now. And I think about the humanness of the man. As I say, it was difficult for me to fathom that he was gone, truly gone. And I reflect back to his lying in the coffin, and I saw him, and I know he's gone. But I guess it's difficult for people who didn't see him in a state of death to fully realize that he is dead. They want to believe that he's off in the Bahamas somewhere, and I wish he were, but I believe that Elvis...
So, right, I just wanted to show a little bit of a clip. You know, generally you'll find plenty of clips showing Linda talking about Elvis, mostly in a good light, but she does throw in the little comments that I don't like she calls him a little boy and he wasn't emotionally mature, things like that. Hope you got your cup of tea, guys. Anyway, now I can tell from this, all this lovely stuff that Linda has sent me. She wants me to defend Elvis and expose the wrongdoing of Linda, all the bad things that she said about Elvis, that Linda isn't the girlfriend that some of us think she is. Now, many of you may be Linda Thompson fans, yeah? I think Debbie's, hi Debbie, that's a new name. Now, I'm not going to sit here and slate Linda. I'm not going to do that. But, you know, I think what Linda wants me to do. I'm not going to start reading all this because I'm not into reading. Yeah, I don't mind reading a bit, but generally I like to sort of scan over things. So Linda has sent me quite a lot of notes. I can tell that the point of the notes is to highlight that Linda in this book said some pretty nasty things about Elvis, pretty horrible things about Elvis, portrayed him in a very bad light. I don't know how many of you have read this book. And my thing to you guys is, you know, we're defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. Obviously, you guys are Team Elvis, and we do our research, and we're trying to defend Elvis as much as we can. But Linda has a good point. Like, one of the things she says is that one of the shows that she was doing, she was charging $1,250, and it was sold out. Yeah. Then now, the problem we have is, imagine if you were Elvis and you've got these different ex-girlfriends, some of them long-term, because I think Elvis was with Linda for over 4 years. How do you think he feels about people that were his girlfriends saying negative things about him? Because I understand if a girlfriend, you know, let's sound it out, guys. If a girlfriend wants to talk about Elvis in a positive light, a bit like Mindy Miller does, Mindy Miller talks about Elvis in a very positive light. She's never written anything nasty about him. She's never written a book saying nasty things about him. Yeah? Now, this is what I'm saying about Elvis. I don't think Elvis would mind people. Oh, I might have to go. I might have to come back and do a part 2. Let's just see. 1 second. Voilà. Okay, wait. All right, it's okay, guys. Just my wife is dropping off the shopping, so I can carry on, which is good. Let me just top my tea up. Anyway, right, I'm going to keep going. We're still going. We're still talking about... I'm trying to get to the bottom of something, yeah? I'm trying to say... Right, let me just come back. Okay, guys, we're back. Right, let me carry on. The dog's going to be a bit noisy because the wife's dropping off the shopping. The wife's just been shopping. We're having roast dinner. So, you got your cup of tea, guys? Now, this is what I'm trying to say. Is why do the girlfriends, you know, the ones that Elvis was with a long time, there's a possibility that they were in love, yeah, for a while. Why so many negative things about Elvis? Why? It's so disappointing because, you know, Linda Thompson, she had her own career in her own right, modeling, acting, writing songs. Linda has made a success of her life. Yeah. So why the negative stuff? Why this? I don't understand it, guys. You try and explain it to me. And it has to be money. It has to be money, doesn't it? What else can it be? Yeah. And then, so if I just read, let's just find one bit. Let's have a look. Let's just try and find. I was quickly just scanning through a bit. Right, listen to this. Right. The more time I spent with Elvis, the more I understood that he was an extremely paradoxical person. As I had already witnessed, he could be the sweetest man, one just too good for this earth. As I came to see soon enough, though, he could also flip that switch with a temper so vicious and uncontrolled, it seemed he'd never calm down again. Yeah? Let me just get my wife bringing the shopping. Right. In times of reflection and response, I know that he struggled with the aspect of his personality. He's given that everything about his life was exaggerated. So what I'm saying is I can flick through this book and I can find lots of negative things. Lots of negative things. All the way through it. Yeah? Now don't forget, Linda portrays Elvis as if they have this perfect romance. Let's find another bit. So what Linda has done, she's put all the different different colors in. See that? And she has written, the red flags are for violent, crazy behavior. Blue flags for drug abuse. Pink flags, unnecessary intimate things that she's put in the book. Purple flags, that he was immature. Green flags for things that are just disgusting and fake. Orange flags, almost criminal, that this thing has been written. And yellow flag is where the story is just embarrassing. And I tell you what, when I go through this, it just breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. I'm interested. Do any of you know this book? Yeah. Just so you know, it's called A Little Thing Called Life. Yeah. Now let's just have a look. So I'm just going to generally go over a few things. Linda claims that once he died, the maybes of them getting back together were gone. She also writes, I never felt like Elvis and me were totally done. Neither did he. Sam, I think, is her brother. Let's have a look. All right, so she's saying that Elvis said this to her brother. Elvis said that to Sam. You know I loved your sister. We're not finished. Our story is not over. At this time, he was already with Ginger. Yeah? So she claims she loved him deeply. That's the only comparison of her life for her sons. Kind of cruel to her ex-husband. Also similar to Priscilla's claims love of her life. Right. So then Linda says, hi, Louis, it's important to defend Elvis against this book because as she gains popularity as being Elvis, because she was at Elvis Week. Is that correct, guys? I think she was. No, in fact, I know she was because I've seen the videos. More people may read her book. Tickets to hear her speak were $1,250. I know, like many of us, want to like Linda. Yeah, we do, don't we? She's very likable. Many of her interviews are interesting and fun and quite light-hearted. I know that she speaks sweet of him in interviews, and we all know that she was there at a time when Elvis needed someone. Her stunning looks probably boosted his bruised ego. And I think after this breakup with Priscilla, I think Linda was good for Elvis. Do you guys agree with that? But she's getting paid a lot of money to be at Elvis Week. After reading her book, to me, her being at Elvis Week is no different than Priscilla being buried at Graceland. Anyone that listens to them or reads their books will have a different opinion of Elvis. Now, I understand what she's saying. She's basically saying that you buy this book with fond intentions, with good intentions, that you're going to read a nice romantic book about Linda with Elvis. But then when you start reading it, it paints Elvis in a very bad light, portrays him in a very negative way. She's almost warning us. She's almost warning us, isn't she? Linda is basically saying, be careful when you read this. Right, I read only the parts about Elvis up to the funeral. After the breakup, the rest is about her other marriages. Obviously, we know about Linda's famous marriage, yeah? The entire theme is as the hero who loved and tried to save Elvis. The hero of Elvis is a narrative you hear from Priscilla and the Memphis Mafia. I get that. I've listened to many interviews from Linda, and they do try, and the Memphis Mafia, with the tell-all book, they wrote the book to stop him taking drugs, to help him, when we know that they wrote the book for money. Linda is, and I have heard this in interviews with Linda, she basically is saying, if he had stayed, I think when I watch Linda interviews, she's basically saying if I had stayed with him, he may not have died. Have any of you heard that? Yeah, you guys are chatting about the books. Anyway, let me just. So, I mean, there's a lot to go through here. We're not going to. She's put a lot of work into this. I will gradually go through this slowly. Even the notes that Linda has made are going to take ages to go through. I really thank you, Linda, for the amount of time you've put into this. You've put a lot of time into this. Now, I think the point of this, and it's not for now, but I did want to talk about it a bit, is that be careful when you read this book. There's a lot of negative stuff in it. Even when we're listening to Linda's interviews, we have to keep an open mind that after Elvis died, she did do things that portray Elvis in a bad light, in a negative light. She said things that didn't need to be said. She said things that should have been kept private. So what Linda's saying is that what's the difference between Linda and Priscilla? What's the difference? If they've spent their lives making money from Elvis, portraying Elvis in a negative light, don't forget they also say good things, don't they? They also say good things. It's 10 good things, 2 bad things. 10 good things, 2 bad things. I think what Linda is saying is we're all trying to blame just Priscilla for the negative stuff, the bad stuff that's said about Elvis. But it's not just Priscilla doing it. Other people are doing it as well. And Linda's one of them. And I think now, isn't it going to be said that Ginger as well has said a few things she shouldn't need to be said? Now, I found some old interviews with Ginger, and she said a few things in those old interviews that I thought didn't need to be said. And then even now with the new book, even with the new book now, we're starting to find out things about Ginger. So I think to cut a long story short, guys, let's be careful. If anyone is writing a book and they're making money, let's all be careful what we buy, what we believe, what is true, what isn't true. And don't trust anyone when it comes to their version of a romance. When Elvis can't jump up and defend himself. Elvis cannot jump up and defend himself. So we don't know, do we? People are able to rewrite history because he's dead. No one's going to... even me, I could write a book about Elvis, couldn't I? I could write a book about Elvis. I could write whatever I wanted. Who's going to disagree with me? No one, because Elvis has passed away. He's dead. He's been dead 47 years. I could say whatever I wanted to, couldn't I? Yeah, I could call this book Louis and Me, Louis and Elvis. Louis, Elvis and me, yeah? I'll write what I want, couldn't I? Elvis can't defend himself. No one can. Most of the people that grew up with Elvis are not alive anymore. So I get the point. But anyway, I did want to just quickly show some of these pictures that Linda sent me. I'm not sure if Linda has joined us. I don't think she has. So she's been very careful and she's numbered the pictures. So a lot of them you know. So number 1, let's see if we've numbered these right. Let's have a look. We need to get the numbers. We need to find number 1. Okay, there we go. Right, let's see if they're numbered right. Yeah, so Linda sent me that. It says, I'm sending you some pictures from Tupelo and Sun Studio and Lansky's. Tupelo is where Elvis was born and made a museum after he died. In my opinion, it is more solemn and peaceful than Graceland's. I'd love to go, of course. I really hope you and your family get to visit Memphis. You must do the Elvis Birthplace Tour. The Elvis Birthplace Tour. Who knows, guys? May happen. May happen. I'd have to go VIP because I cannot sit up in an aeroplane. If I'm going to go to Memphis, America, I need to be able to lie down. I can't sit up in a seat for 10 hours. It would drive me mad. So number one, guys. These are Linda's pictures. Oh, is it Old Sotillo Road? Yeah, Old Sotillo Road, where Elvis was born. Number two, the actual fireplace and mantelpiece. Vernon told a story. It's a couple of books that when Elvis was born, there were 2 bottles on the mantle and one exploded. I've heard this story. Right, let's see if we're going to see if the numbers are right, Linda. Isn't that crazy? That was Elvis's mantelpiece when he was very small. And that's exactly how it looked. Yeah. Now, one thing I did learn is that they didn't live here very long. I think, wasn't it one Vernon was put in jail for check fraud? I think he served 8 months, but I think he originally was sentenced to 3 years. They moved. I think they moved in with their in-laws next door, I think. But Gladys didn't get on with the in-laws, so they eventually moved again. So they weren't actually at this house very long. I don't know how long they were at the house. It's known as a shotgun house, isn't it? So 2-room shotgun house, yeah? Right, let's go to the next picture, guys. Number 3, the statues on the site. Now, how many of you have seen these? I'm imagining Elvis reading books people wrote about him. What would he say? Aileen, you're so right. So, Deborah, I wish Vernon could have written a book from the very beginning of Elvis' death, covering his own love story for Gladys. Oh, yeah, that would be sweet. Does anyone know this statue? This is number 3. Number 4, another statue. Wow, that is beautiful. Elvis as a boy carrying his guitar. Have any of you seen this? Number 5, actual church Elvis's family attended. They moved it to the site. Yes, I've heard about this church. The Assembly God Church. The Assembly God Church. And it's even got the different times of the school. Sunday school 9:45, Sunday morning 11, Sunday evening 6:30. Then Wednesday is Bible night, Wednesday evening, and then we got everyone is welcome. This was moved, and I think stands next to the old Sotillo Road house. Elvis's birth home. I know we all know about this, but why not? If Linda's made the effort to do these pictures, thank you, Linda. I'm going to make the effort to show you guys. So number 6 is the actual pulpit from when Elvis attended. The pulpit that Elvis attended. Wow. Yeah, it sounds to me like, is there some negative things in the new book, From Here to the Great Unknown? Is there negative things about Vernon? Is there? Right, number 7, the sign at sight. Until we meet again, may God bless you and he has blessed me, as he has blessed me. Right, so Michelle, there's some negative things about Vernon, yeah? What are they then? Tell me the negative things about Vernon, guys, from the book, From Here to the Great Unknown. Right, number 8, reflecting area. Wow, that's beautiful. Number 8, the reflecting area. Number 9, benches, Elvis. Then they added one for Lisa. Hard to see the names because of the way they took the photo. This is a bench. They added one for Lisa. Right, so they've obviously... let's just read your comment. I haven't read about Vernon yet. Hi, Emily, my sweet friend. How are you? Yes, Elvis was very depressed. Let's have a look. Lisa was told so many things by Priscilla that maybe they only heard one side, but who would ever tell the truth? But Lisa, I said, I will cry through her book. Yes, and I'm getting a lot of messages at the moment about the book. So this is number 10, statue of Elvis at fairground site. At the fairground site. Let's have a look at it. Wow. There you are, guys. Thank you. That's from Linda. Right. Number 11. Description of why fairground is so important to Tupelo. He told Lisa that she was nothing special. She avoided him because she was scared of him. There's more, but too long. Oh my God, Misha. Do you know what? I do get the feeling that there is another side to Vernon. Not Gladys, but with Vernon, I've read different things that make us wary, yeah. Right, number 12. The photo inside the Tupelo hardware store, which is the store Gladys bought Elvis his guitar. The photo is of a man who bought Elvis's first guitar at auction. Even the floor counter, everything is still as it was in 1935. Wow. Amazing. Still as it was in 1935. And that's the first guy to buy the guitar. Yes, I'm definitely worried about the things that have been said about Vernon. It's like this book, guys. This is groundbreaking. This new book, Riley and Lisa's book. We're going to find out a lot of truths. A lot of people are going to be caught out, aren't they? If I was Priscilla, I'd be very worried. Number 13, the actual DJ booth moved from its original place to upstairs at Sun Studio, where DJ Dewey Phillips played That's All Right Mama. He was known for smashing records that he deemed were a smash hit. Robert Plant of Led Zeppelin always visits Sun Studio when in Memphis. And this is a great picture. And you've got smash records on the floor that Dewey Phillips was famous for. Great picture, this one. Okay, number 14. Actual mic used by Elvis at Sun Studios when they made it at a museum, Sam Phillips donated it back. I didn't know that. So Sam Phillips donated the mic back to Sun Studios. Brilliant picture, guys. Wow. It's the most famous mic in the world, isn't it, guys? And Linda took that picture. Linda stood next to the picture of where it all started. That's all right, Mama. So we are number 15. As you may know, Elvis bought his flashy clothes at Lansky's, originally on Beale Street in Memphis. Musicians pay homage and visit to Lansky's. The guitars are given by musicians: Van Halen, Carl Perkins, Tom Petty, AC/DC, James Brown. So now we're on number 17. 17. Why have we not? Right, we don't have 17. Let's have a look. Okay, am I missing a page? Let's just be sure. Let's have a look. These are Linda's notes that she sent me for her book. Right, so I'll just show you the pictures, then we'll have a quick look at her notes. So this, all right, this is more guitars, and it has Van Morrison and B.B. King. Van Morrison and B.B. King. Right, and then we have Van Halen, Carl Perkins. Right, let's have a look. So then we also have Maria Mulder, Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash, Celine Dion and Tanya Tucker, and the Dave something. So these are the last ones, and it is Lisa Marie Presley. All right, and Matchbox 20. Well, thank you, Linda. Beautiful pictures. I'll keep them safe. So Linda, she packaged everything up really nicely for me. So let's go back to this book a little bit. So this book, A Little Thing Called Life. Have any of you read it? Have any of you read it? Let's just have a look. Let's just see. A Little Thing Called Life. To Brandon and Brody, to Mummy and Daddy. So we have 30, we've got 25 chapters. So this is a proper, this is going to take a while to read, guys. Linda Thompson has been nominated for Academy Awards, Grammy Awards, and won Emmy Awards for writing some of the most recognized songs of the generation. She starred along running hit television series Hee Haw for 15 years, as well as reality show Prince of Malibu with her sons Brandon and Brody Jenner. She lives in Malibu. For the last 40 years, award-winning songwriter Linda Thompson has quietly led one of the most remarkable lives in show business. The longtime live-in love of Elvis Presley, Linda first emerged into the limelight during the 1970s when the former beauty pageant queen caught the eye of the king. Their chance late-night encounter at a movie theater was the stuff of legends and is marked the beginning of a whirlwind romance that would stretch across decades, leading to marriage with Bruce Jenner and motherhood and more drama than she ever could have imagined. Well, that's true. But you can watch, there's a film on YouTube that's called Elvis and the Beauty Queen. It's low quality, but it's watchable. You've got Don Johnson, who plays Elvis, which is a bit weird, but I actually thought it was watchable and quite believable as well. So you know, let me just I want to have another quick look at the notes Linda has given me. So, Linda, thank you for the Sun Studios sticker and the plectrum that comes in here. In case you're just joining now, she sent me this. So I'm going to put in my camper van, and she sent me 2 plectrums. Obviously, that's got Elvis on it. And I'm going to stick these to my camper van. I'm going to get a bit of glue, and we're going to sort that out. It's raining today, so I'm not doing it today. So if you guys ever want to send me books, guys, the address is in my description. Right, let me just quickly look at these notes with this book. Let's just go to what page? In regard to Priscilla, she said he told her that he was hurt because Priscilla left him for another man. Linda writes, regardless of whether his own behavior or expectations of her, Priscilla had been fair and realistic. He didn't want marriage to end. And I actually think when Elvis first found out about Priscilla's being unfaithful, I think he tried to keep the marriage together, because he didn't like the thought of Lisa Marie growing up in a broken family and his public image. He didn't want the world to see Elvis in a broken marriage with, you know, separated, as a father separated from his daughter. I think Elvis, because he was a good Christian man, initially didn't want to separate. All right, okay. So are we, let me just wait. So are we breaking up now, guys? If the signal's bad, I think I can go to a part 2, yeah? How are you hearing me now, guys? How are you hearing me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you hearing me at the moment? Can you hear me? Because it doesn't matter. We can come back for a part 2, yeah? All right, okay. We're going to end it now. All right, guys. We're going to come back for a part 2. Yeah, we'll come back for part 2. It's okay, guys. We've been on nearly an hour. Right, I'm going to go, guys. But thank you. We've had a nice little, nearly an hour of chatting. Let me know any information you get about the book. Let me know any information about the new book. Send me some info. Take it easy, guys. Thanks, guys. All the best. Love you. Love you. Take care, guys.